Hi there, and welcome to Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're gonna just really go into detail a little bit about Yahaya Bello's situation. Only simply because, in the interest of trying to give our people updates on what is really going on, and the need for us to actually scrutinize our system of governance. As much as, like I said, I would like to make sure that we have nothing to do with the contraction, the nation we call Nigeria. Um, we have That's what we have at the minute. And unless we participate in that process to get to the point where there is a referendum and we go our separate way by the majority in any given area, the only option we have really left is to participate in this process and monitor it and fine tune it to serve we the people. So to that end, that's why I'm doing this. I'm not just sort of. There is a logical thought process to why we must cover this, and I encourage everybody who are, if you're a Yoruba Nation supporter, I need you to really understand that you can go on a drive all you like, you can protest all you like, unless you become part of the process, i.e., getting communities to begin to hold those elected office to account, being part of that process at the grassroots. Whatever your aspirations for Yoruba Nation will come to nothing, because you cannot break free from Nigeria without the very support of the people from the grassroots. The grassroots are where the power lies. So we can say Yoruba Nation all we want. And when I say, what do I mean by grassroots? When every community comes up and stands together and say, no, we want a referendum, and we instruct our elected officials to go to the State House of Assembly, the National Assembly, and put a clause in for the referendum clause to be inserted alongside devolution, of course. And any other thing we want to do, nothing is going to change. I firmly believe that. And that's why I'm really trying to make sure we go through this process and actually understand it. Now let's listen to Junior Way, I think, from Arise TV, and talking about Yahaya Bello situation. The Yahaya Bello situation tells us that our governance is really not functioning. No, once you're an ex-governor, you should not be having a police escort and all of that. To my knowledge, paid for by the state. These there are fundamental flaws in the situation, in the system. But fine, you can have your own private, security, but that should not. If you have nothing to hide, you should be willing to go to the EFCC. But let us listen to this. Let's listen to Yahaya Bello's update on Yahaya Bello. Anyway, former governor Yahaya Bello. Let's listen.
After the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Thursday declared former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, wanted for alleged money laundering to the tune of 80 billion naira while in office. In a statement posted on X, the Anti-Graft Commission urged anyone with useful information on the former governor's whereabouts to contact the commission or the nearest police station. On Wednesday, some EFCC operatives laid siege to Bello's Abuja residence, which was Usman Ododo, who was said to have whisked the former governor away.
So Usman Ododo, a sitting governor, whisked the former governor away. Sorry for this slight break in transmission earlier on, but it's still on the same issue here we're talking about. So the current governor, Usman Ododo, whisked the former governor away. I mean, this is truncating, our justice system. I mean, if you're telling us to believe in one Nigeria, is this the one Nigeria you want us to believe in? And that's why I'm saying we must participate in that process as citizens. Again, let me read that to you for those of you who are joining us. Section 14.2a, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. I think it's something we need to reiterate over and over and over and over. For Section 14.2c, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. If we don't participate, then they're going to be using the police as thugs against we the people, protecting themselves whilst looting the money meant for our infrastructure, which is exactly what is happening. The former governor, Yahaya Bello, cannot adequately explain the 80.4 or 80.2 billion naira he's accused of collecting, and now it resorts to this. Let's listen on.
The EFCC stood by and watched. Well, let's take some reaction. Again, this is from Dino Melaye, who wrote, EFCC versus Yahaya Bello. Unless EFCC and Yahaya Bello are both doing simulation for a movie about the agency and former governors, the press statement captioned "Wanted" is not necessary. 1, you were at his residence to effect arrest. You failed to apply ACJA, or better still, what you did to Okorocha at his residence. 2, you knew who came and whisked him away. You allowed it. 3, both him and the incumbent governor have security details from police and SSS who must report activities, including the whereabouts of their VIPs to their commands, meaning his whereabouts is not hidden.
It's not.
4, you knew police and SSS have surveillance instruments for geo-tracking and geolocating, yet you failed to approach. You are asking the general public to give you information about someone you have every reason to know his whereabouts. Please do your job. I mean, apparently the police has, released a statement saying that they have withdrawn all of his SSS and all of the police detail from former Governor Yahaya Bello. And I think Dano Bohala's reaction.
Well, withdrawn. Have they really withdrawn it? How can you trust any of that?
There was quite apt. But in the meantime, counsel to Yahaya Bello said his client was in his home state of Kogi when operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission besieged his Abuja residence on Wednesday. The lawyer made the remarks during the hearing of the...
We all know that he was whisked away by Governor Usman Ododo out of the Abuja residence. You just had it say minutes ago. And now the lawyer is... let's listen on.
Alleged money laundering case against the former governor and the chief of staff to Usman Ododo and others charged in the case. Yahaya Bello was absent from court, of course. The lawyer said Bello was waiting the judgment of a high court in the state, which restrained the anti-graft agency from arresting him when he learned that his Abuja residence had been evaded. I mean, this is classic, isn't it? So many reactions. I'll take one last reaction. As reactions flood social media. An old video.
This is all a great big movie. Don't be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day Yahaya Bello walks away. Nothing happens to him. It's part of the establishment covering their backs. That's the reality. And that is why I keep saying, unless we, the citizens, begin to participate in this process and begin to hold those we elect into office to account, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. We have the powers to recall your State House of Assembly members, your House of Reps, your senators, and you can indeed instruct your House of Assembly members to deal with governors, to actually ensure that they impeach governors at your say-so. That is how much power you have. But we're not exercising those powers. Instead, we are on our knees, hands and knees, and praying in a church and in a mosque that is used to distract us from holding those we elect into office to account. Anyway, let's listen.
So in former Kogi State governorship aspirant, Dino Melaye, mocking Yahaya Bello, has resurfaced online in the video. Dino predicted that the next president for Bello after the government house is jail. Let's take a look.
Do you know Yahaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba? I know Yahaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Do you know GYB máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba? We know GYB máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Ìwọ Yahaya, Yahaya, kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ? kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ ẹni tí mo bẹ́ lórí tó ń ṣẹ̀nu wúyẹ́ kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ àti ẹkún ìyá ni ó jẹ Yahaya Bello àti ẹkún ìyá ni ó jẹ
Here is the
This was back in 2018. You're cracking up.
Never get
I
old.
mean, never ever get old. I mean, but how classic.
Let me just say that since Dino Melaye didn't win his ambitions to
Yeah.
being governor, he might consider a career in entertainment and maybe
He
skit.
started already.
Oh, he started skit making or even in and
Nollywood
music.
movie,
He
yeah.
should also go
In fact,
into
I
music.
saw one at the cinema where he appeared.
Oh,
in.
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so now going to the Yahaya Bello story,
Right.
Daniel Boala raises some very pertinent questions, and I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and that's what we're discussing in terms of how difficult really was it for the EFCC to have arrested him yesterday. We've seen when, well, not yesterday, when they invaded his home. We've seen when they were very adamant or very, when they had the will to do so. And even when he involved them
Look at that.
illegally, some might say,
You can see he
opening
was
up the
obviously
roof
in-
of
yeah,
a
he was being
particular
taken
former
away.
governor.
which is a court.
Yeah, which
Yes.
is, they actually did that. So
Yes.
what was stopping them from doing that?
Oh.
Then the governor, that's Governor Ododo, is the only one who has immunity. His staff members or the convoy that came with him do not have immunity. I understand that. I mean, one of the reasons why they restricted was that, number one, the optics would have looked bad to see EFCC and a sitting governor, in a tussle, or to even get even violent. And some people there might be some injuries that have been incurred. But it will be difficult to imagine that it's hard to locate where
Fast,
Governor
utter
Yahaya
fast.
Bello is.
I mean-
And then in terms of the governor himself, I think
Utter
it's quite
fast.
sad that a sitting governor would be said to be harboring a fugitive or might know the whereabouts of someone.
This really exposes the fact that we're not a democracy when a sitting governor can take action that goes against the laws of the land using immunity powers to actually carry out what goes against the laws of the land. That's our Nigeria. That's why we will never tire for going for Yoruba Nation. Don't for 1 minute think that we've forgotten Yoruba Nation. No. What we're doing is we need our people to know their rights. So I take this opportunity to state again, Section 14.2a. 1 second. Give me 1 sec. Yes, this is why I advocate for Yoruba as a Yoruba Nation supporter, and many people will find this contradictory in many respects. But let me explain. If you do not use the powers that you've seen on the screen to begin to hold your governors to account, we can never achieve Yoruba Nation. I stand on that 100%. We can stand for the next 20 years and we'll be in a standoff. We'll be saying we want Yoruba Nation, we want Yoruba Nation. There is no mechanism in which you can achieve Yoruba Nation. No mechanism unless it is through active participation in our governance, encouraging the people from within the community to themselves stand up and put the clause for referendum in the constitution through instructing their elected officials from within their communities. That is the only way. You cannot achieve Yoruba Nation through violent means. Of that, I am certain. That is why my stance is very, very clear. I'm not here to abuse or there's no point. It doesn't serve any purpose. You can abuse me all you want. That is not going to get us to achieve Yoruba Nation. I'm trying to focus on how we can achieve that from within our community. And it's through empowering the people within the community. That's why I keep coming up and showing you this. Section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That is something we need to really make sure we reiterate over and over and over. And then Section 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. So please, we need to make sure that in our communities now, the best way for us as Yoruba Nation to achieve Yoruba Nation is to actually participate in our governance now. I know it's counterintuitive when you think about what I'm saying. You think, but I want to see it break up. But it is only through you directing the actions of those elected officials from within your community to do what you want them to do that you can begin to take control and instruct them to insert a referendum clause in the constitution. Then when the opportunity comes for self-determination, you can now decide, okay, we're going collectively. And this has to be a consistent effort. It's not a one-off thing. Again, I urge you all, make sure that you're holding how many of you are going to monthly town hall meetings in your community. to track your roads, your water, your light, your school, your bridges, your healthcare, your safety, your security, and the money, the budget for those infrastructures. Are you monitoring it? Or are you just in a church praying or in a mosque praying that God will do it for you? If you're not monitoring it, you can pray all you want. Nothing is going to happen. That's the reality of it. So let's start there. So let's proceed.
Who is wanted by the EFCC. The first port of call, let them go to the government house. Let them ask questions around. If he left in a particular vehicle, can they trace where he went to? It cannot be so difficult. And there was some people were saying was that, why didn't they put a bit of ransom for him? He would get a lot of leads, anonymous calls as to where they can find Governor Yahaya Bello. But at the end of it all, it is still that big question. What is he running from? Yeah. Why are you running? Right. He is the white lion.
Why are you
lion
running?
Is never afraid to go into the jungle to
Why are you running?
To at least defend
Why
himself.
are you
so
running?
Let him do what he's meant
Why?
to do. Let's not have drama around this.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the Nigerian Immigration Service has also released a circular. They are asking for him as well. But I mean, that circular was quite the circular. There was no date of birth on that circular.
No
but
date.
they've also declared him
2023.
wanted. In another development, Abdulaziz Ganduje, son.
Okay, so we're not going to go into that. That's a separate thing. I just wanted to focus on the Yahaya Bello situation. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us as citizens to familiarize ourselves with our constitution, and let us encourage our communities to know this constitution in their local languages. If you go to my website, let me quickly show you that now, so you can see. I'm not trying to tell you anything that's new. You all know what I do. It's about raising awareness within our community. There's my website, www.citizennetwork.org. Go on here. You go down to the Iweofin 1999 near the Yoruba. You will see the constitution in Yoruba language. The plan and the idea is to have it in other languages as well. So there you have it. It is here. You can peruse it. You can read it yourself. Or if you so wish, you can even translate it yourself if you want. But I'm making it easy for you to click. And these are the key areas that you need to focus on, 14.2a and 14.2c. And there are other areas we will come and touch on. I'm still haven't finished doing the work there because there's a lot of work that we're doing in other areas. But so 14.2a, you can see it all there. So that's right up onto 14.2c. You see that? So there we go. You see it? So those are the areas that you need to familiarize yourself with. And it is in Yoruba language. And I think we need our communities to have these powers in our local language so that the people can participate in the process. 14.2a. Ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin yìí ń gba gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. It's the same thing as nípasẹ̀ òfin ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè ń gba gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. It's about the same thing, you know. So then the section for 2c, kópa àwọn ènìyàn níjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. So, you know, these are loosely the same words. They mean the same thing. You can participate in your governance. So when you see what is happening with the government, I mean, it's almost a charade. You can see that there is no intention to arrest Yahaya Bello. It's all for show. He's probably going to be covered and protected unless we begin to participate in that process on a regular basis. Every month, track how much money they're being paid for each of the projects, who are the contractors, what's the balance. Start questioning them at town hall meetings every month. Nothing is going to change. And you have the power as sovereigns, and that's what I'm showing you in Yoruba language here. So what's left for me to say thank you very much. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AOI on YouTube. Let's do this. I want to just try and help get you, help us grow the platform. We're grateful. Subscribe to Citizen AOI, the platform where we speak truth power. Help us grow the platform. Help us reach more people. We really do need your support. It is of immense importance that we grow this platform and get to, we're close to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. We would love a lot more. Would love to be over 3,000. And don't forget, the more you subscribe, the more the information that we're sharing reaches more people. Look, I am for Yoruba Nation, and I don't have anything to hide in saying that. I stand firmly with that. I wear the clothes, I wear the flag, I sing the songs. But currently we are in Yoruba, we're in Nigeria. And the best way to achieve Yoruba Nation is through activating the powers we possess as sovereigns in Nigeria right now, and using those powers to now ensure that the clause for referendum is inserted into the conclusion. It does two things. A constitution. It does two things when you do that. Two things. The two things it does is, number one, when you start doing that, the government, and start participating in your government, it stops the corruption. Number two, those who are in government, they will make sure, if they want to keep Nigeria in intact, then they will do what we the citizens want, that we will not need to be advocating for Yoruba nation. So either way, we are in a win-win situation. We are in control of that situation, and that's what I need you to understand. If they fail to do so, we are justified, because the evidence is clear for us all that the money has been looted and everything else, and we're justified in going for Yoruba nation. And we use the power to possess to demand, to control those we elect into office. Your senators, your governors, House of Reps, Senate, all of them. They'll be doing your bidding when you're having monthly meetings with them, directing their actions. That is our role. Our role is to monitor our governance. And unless we take part in that, begin to do that on a monthly basis in every community, nothing is going to change. You can wail all you want, you can blame the government all you want. They know full well that you do not know your powers. And this platform is geared towards empowering you from within your community. Join us, share the broadcast, help us reach more people. Ladies and gentlemen, you're of course watching Season A, the platform where we speak truth about later on. Thank you and bye for now. Please do share. Don't forget, it is up to you and me now. I am for Yoruba Nation. I am very clear about that, but I will say this to you. Unless and until every community begins to participate in their governance and not waiting for any Jesus or Allah to help them demand for what is their right, and they start taking collective action within the community via monthly town hall meetings, questioning your local government chairman, state house of assembly members, House of Reps, senators, governors on a monthly basis, nothing is going to change. And that is where it starts, at the grassroots. We have the power to make that change. Let us begin. Enough of praying to useless, senseless, empty, false gods that they've been used to blind your mind. It's time to wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power about later on. Thank you and bye for now.